Hello, I'm Leticia Kronenberg. In my district, the Vinland is not typically used. All of the diagnosticians and a majority of the LSSPs use the Adaptive Behavior Assessment System 3rd edition, also known as the ABAS 3. The LSSP I work with on my campus feels the ABAS is more accessible than the Vinland. So my experience with testing a student is with the ABAS, not the Vinland. Overall, I think the ABAS is user-friendly. I was able to understand the protocols, use the manual, and score the test without any hesitations. There are 5 different protocols for the ABAS. Parent Primary Caregiver Form, ages 0 to 5. Parent Form, ages 5 to 21. Teacher Daycare Form, ages 2 to 5. Teacher Form, ages 5 to 21. And the Adult Form, ages 16 to 89. The ABAS focuses on 3 domains: practical, social, and conceptual. There is a 4th domain, work, for older students through age 21 that have a job. Each domain consists of 2 to 4 subdomains. The protocol ratings are 0, meaning not able to, through 3, meaning always or almost always when needed. Along with the other rating scales, there is an option where parents or teachers can mark if they guessed an answer. I found the protocols to be self-explanatory. Immediately inside is an example of how to complete the questionnaire and brief description of each rating. Even though this was my first time to administer any type of special education test, I was at ease explaining how the protocol worked. At first, the parent I used had a bit of difficulties scoring their child, not because of the protocol, but because of the way he had to think about each question. He had to think along the lines of 0, meaning his child was not able to do something, versus 1, his child could do it, but doesn't. Once he thought in that manner, he had no issues with completing the test. Though the district I work for has an online program for scoring, they encourage aspiring diagnosticians to know how to score without the use of technology. So when I saw the manual, I was intimidated and thought the scoring would be difficult. However, the manual had step-by-step instructions and figures identifying the different parts of the scoring guide. The appendices have tables and scoring guidelines showing raw scores to scaled scores based upon the age of the student. Even without the online program, where charts and graphs are automatically and easily created, I can create a chart and graph that explains the results as well as serves as a visual for the parents to understand. The most confusing part for me was the confidence levels. I still do not understand how the confidence levels fit with the scoring. What determines if I use a plus or negative 90 or a plus or negative 95? My concern for testing wasn't so much the test itself, but was the idea of testing a student without actually testing a student. When I think about testing a student, I think asking a student questions and recording the answers. With the ABAS, I'm gathering information from a parent or teacher for familiar and specific domains in the different environments. What I did find difficult about the ABAS was that it wasn't readily apparent to me how the data would guide me in assisting the student. My question after I scored the protocol was, now what? What are the next steps to help the student? What are the next steps to help the student? I know this is only a portion of testing a student for an intellectual disability, but I still felt a bit lost. According to what we read in this course in the Texas Department of Aging and Disability Services, measures of intelligent and adaptive functioning that are accepted for the diagnosis of intellectually disabled must be established instruments with a body of published research that supports the reliability and validity of the test and its use with persons who have an intellectual disability. I think the Adaptive Behavior Assessment System, or ABAS, satisfies the professional standard for validity and reliability required for their use in the analysis of general intellectual functioning in students being evaluated for ID. Using the ABAS is a helpful way to gather similar information from different environments and different perspectives.